What's up, my dudes? My name is Papa Agron, and welcome, my friends, to Papa's house. What we have going on today is a challenge video, and it's a little bit of a special challenge for me. It's the Aeron challenge. But first, we gotta give a shout out to our boy Chillin' Plays, as he's the one that got us to do this. And secondly, if I can articulate this part correctly, we need to shout out Trippy Trainer, the man who inspired Chillin' to do what he does. But with all this stuff out of the way, I wanted to explain a bit about this challenge here. It's pretty much, well, it's your standard challenge, I guess. No healing in battle, blah blah blah. You guys know the deal. So we replaced Bulbasaur mainly to give us that like harder challenge. And early on, it wasn't difficult. A scratch literally does nothing to us, and Tackle just straight wrecks Charmander. Crit did not even matter. So we do what all we need to do to get the game rolling and headed them straight into our next rival battle. So Chillin, of course, at this stage already has a Pidgey, and well, frankly, Pidgey can't do anything to us. It can tackle, but as you can see, it's not very effective. Fortunately, well, unfortunately rather, we have to take him down with tackle ourselves, but we do. Charmander here worried me a little bit. I thought it might have Ember. If it did have it at this stage, it didn't use it. And so, with enough Mud Slaps, we eventually just take out Charmander again. Because we big pimpin'. Alright, so we go through Viridian Forest and have no problems. Go straight over to Brock. Brock's rock hard, giggity. His rock hard Pokemon though, Onix and Geodude, really can't do anything. So Mud Slap it out and then, a quick headbutt to finish the job. Yeah, we got binded, but as you can see on our health, no problem. Again, crit did not matter. So what we get next from Brock is Rock Tomb. And let me just say, Rock Tomb here is going to potentially be something that saves the entire lock, as you'll see later on. But no problems through Mount Moon, so we go into our next rival battle once again. The only problem I was really worried about, the Charmander, well, you can see straight up, like I probably could have Rock Tombed him again there, but the Mud Slap works. He did have Ember this time around, but unfortunately for us, we're high enough level that really doesn't do enough to where it's a threat, especially with the Mud Slap lowering their accuracy. So I'm thinking so far we're golden. Well, welcome to Misty, our first actual hard part of the challenge. Starting out with this, we were, unfortunately, even though we're over leveled, we're under leveled. Because Staryu outspeeds us, and look how much damage it does from one water pulse. We're screwed. So we try again, this time boosted up a little bit level, goes for the harden. I'm thinking, alright, maybe we got a shot, but then, well, headbutt again. Does quite a bit of damage, but it's still outspeeding us. Oof. And see, I didn't think about the Rock Tomb strat just yet, unfortunately. But you'll see what I mean by the Rock Tomb strat. So, we actually beat the Staryu, no big deal, but then Starmie just comes straight in and wrecks us. So back to grinding we go. We come back, easy win over the Staryu. And here's where I start using the Rock Tomb strat more effectively. Even though we're confused, we bypass the confusion and go in with a Rock Tomb. Now this is where it's very key here, guys. Speed stat gets lowered. With this in play, we actually now outspeed. And if we can get past this confusion, which we do, Rock Tomb KOs, and we're golden. So next, all we gotta do is go all the way to S.S. Anne. By this point in time, we have learned Dig. So Charmeleon, who might have been a threat to us on the S.S. Anne and get chillin', straight up no problem. Dig just rocking it out, straight up one-shots. You're going to see this play a little bit over, especially when we go on to Lieutenant Surge here with Raichu. Yeah, they set up the double teams, but fortunately for us, and I guess unfortunate for the challenge, we're at a higher level. So again, Dig straight up one-shots. Yay us. You'll see here that we're picking up a TM Aerial Ace. I actually got this idea for taking on some of the peskier grass types, and fortunately for us, Trippy can learn it. Here's where I started to speculate whether I'd made a bad play in all of this, because we're starting to lose our steel type moves. I opt in to keep Iron Tail and get rid of Metal Claw, mainly because it's more damage, but we'll see how it plays out. In the Rocket Hideout, well, you can see how we're rocking and rolling. Iron Tail straight up kills Giovanni. Now we're in Erica. Victory Bell's a little annoying, but Aerial Ace. Same with Vileplume, it does the damage, but Aerial Ace KOs. Now we're back in the Pokemon Tower with Chillin once again. Again, the only problem I have right now is the Charmeleon. I opt to not go for the dig. Rock Tomb, unfortunately, we're at such a high level. Straight up KOs. The Marowak I thought was going to give us problems, but as you can see, we just straight yeeted it. Go straight on in, get the Pokeflute, and go into Silphco. Because, well, I want to maybe try to do Saffron while we're here. But, well, this is where it starts getting difficult once again. Pidgeot's faster than us, and the Feather Dance really comes in crucial, especially with Mons later on. You'll see what I'm talking about. Rock Tomb Strat comes into play, but because of our lowered attack, we're not able to do much, unfortunately. So while we're able to take out the Pidgeot, later on, whenever the Execute comes in, the Aerial Ace isn't enough to body Execute, and this is where one of my most hated mons this entire thing, because Stun Spore always was the land, it seemed. Oh my goodness. But we get through that, try to take out the Charizard. We're just straight too slow at this point. I mean, we're only 9 levels ahead. Flamethrower takes us out. So at this time I decide, well, let's go down Bike Path and go towards Fuchsia, see what we can do. I'm thinking we got this, we're golden. Well, we ran out of Aerial Ace, and you see the Machamp just straight got us. But going on, no big deal. We get to Koga, Coughing, easy. Muck, got annoying. Straight up annoying. He raises his defense up ridiculous levels, and then starts using Minimize and everything else. Oh my gosh. This was probably a pain. The biggest pain I've probably had so far. So we have to go through literally all of our moves, so that way it becomes a struggle fest. Oh man, like it's just, this is one of those parts where it gets straight up on your nerves, if you guys know what I mean. But we're able to do halfway decent here, so it's not too terrible, I guess. I mean, we get the W, so, oh, I forgot about this. The hyper potions. So many hyper potions. Guys, you don't even know the rage I felt at this point. Like, seriously, this is probably one of the longest matches I'll show, and that's simply because of the rage I held up because of him, the Muck, and the hyper potions. It was unreal. And, like, I get I'm probably spending too much time on this one aspect, but I, at this point, wanted to straight up throw this game across the room. It was ridiculous. Oof. Just thinking back about it now, my blood still gets boiling. But like I said, here comes the struggle fest, and we still got more Mons. Luckily for us, they just off themselves with the self-destruct, and with some time, we're actually able to take the Wheezing down also. Though, admittedly, I'm just lucky at this point that their poison type moves weren't effective us. Again, Steel type is best type. So we're back to challenge Gary again, or Chillin rather. We outspeed, Rock Tomb straight up yeets. Aerial Ace almost doesn't, but it's all good. He missed the Stun Spore. Charizard, here comes our foe. I'm hoping we can eat this at this point. I mean, we are 19 levels higher, and it only does about half, so that's good. Especially with the Rock Tomb being 4 times effective. We're golden. We're golden, Pony Boy. Straight golden. So with that, we go ahead and go take on Giovanni. He's not exactly excited to see us, but Eh, who cares? We're teenagers going out trying to save the world. You know how we do. So Giovanni's Pokemon here, I really wasn't actually worried about at all. The best one he had right now was Nidoqueen. Fortunately for us, I don't think it knew Earthquake at this time, because let's face it, Earthquake right there, we would have been one shot. It's over, GG. And Dig, while it doesn't do one hit KO, it does over half, so you already know this boy going down. And with that last dig, hold on, let's savor this moment, guys, as the Nidoqueen misses the double kick. Sorry, I just felt like I was taunting there. I don't know why, I just felt like I was taunting. But we take out Giovanni and go into Sabrina. Honestly, her mons were like a joke. Straight up, we bodied every single one. The Alakazam, while it was faster, we were able to go in and with an Iron Tail, straight one-shot this man. As one would expect. I mean, come on. It's an Alakazam. It's weak at the knees when it comes to defense. So now we get to go over to a spot I actually really regretted having to do. Blaine, oh my goodness, was a straight pain. And the only reason I'll say we win in the end is because of RNG. That good RNG. The Rapidash is the first problem, as the Ponyta and the Growlithe before we outspeed were able to pretty much one shot. And unfortunately for us, every time it seemed the Fire Blast was going to land, and I know it didn't happen every time, but it seemed that way, we'd get the burn. Oh my goodness, that. But we'll take a moment for that, and I'll just go and explain a few things. You'll notice that the videos here in these segments are a little bit longer than previous ones, and that's simply because I wanted to show y'all the difficulties we struggled with. So again, Fire Blast hits, that's unfortunate for us. But we use the Rock Tomb, we're going back to the Rock Tomb strat. And as we lower their speed, we'll be able to outspeed. Now, I go for Aerial Ace here because I know Blaine is actually going to use the Hyper Potion here. I've actually done this part too many times to count already. So with the Aerial Ace, it damages Rapidash enough to where a Rock Tomb can come in, he won't heal, we do outspeed, and we get the KO. But now here comes the next problem. The Arcanine. With the Growlithe before, and now the Arcanine coming out, that's 2 Intimidates, lowering our attack. Which, let me tell you, is a straight pain. Because now we have to rely a lot on RNG, and Arcanine missing with Fire Blast. I go for Diggs, trying to stall out maybe his Fire Blast. Like, I don't... Honestly, it probably would have been better if I went for Rock Tombs. As you can see here, we outspeed, I think, but it's the RNG fest, guys. Fire Blast hits, at this point we die. Fortunately for us, we actually didn't get hit on this run through from the Rapidash. So when we start off with the Rock Tomb, and you'll notice Rock Tomb actually does a little bit more damage here than Earthquake, but well, there's a process to the madness. At least I thought there was. So we're definitely outspeeding now. What we're doing here is we're hoping against hope that this man misses a Fire Blast, and he does. Of course, we know here comes the Hyper Potion. I wish they literally banned these items, these locks. Oh my goodness, it makes it excruciatingly painful at times. So we're back to the just straight up Rock Tomb in it out. This is where I actually go for Dig, and hoping I don't do as much damage to where he won't pop another Hyper Potion. But as you can see, we critted, so it worked out anyways. Yay, RNG. Next we got Giovanni, and before, Giovanni actually wasn't a problem at all, but now, well, his team's a little bit different and a little bit more improved. The Dugtrio, I don't think no matter what we do with this thing, it's going to outspeed. You know, I try for the Rock Tomb to see if maybe I can lower its speed to where I can be faster, but that Earthquake just straight demolishes us. I mean, we're freaking 22 levels higher at this point, and Earthquake is still doing that much damage. But the Rock Tomb does lower its speed enough to where we can go in and outspeed and get the kill. So that is fortunate for us. However, there's a lot more Mons left in store. Like the Nidoqueen here from before. I'm thinking, oh, we'll just use Dig. Dig will work, right? Of course, you know, we'll be ballin'. Well, now Nidoqueen knows Earthquake. And as you can see, that's not good for us. So we grinded a little bit. We still don't outspeed, now being 28 levels higher. But we do got a little bit more defense, so we actually ate that a little bit more than before. This time I just go for Iron Tail because I want to one-shot the Dugtrio, get it out of the way. Now we're back to that pesky Nidoqueen. We go for another Iron Tail. It's stab, it's got beast power, and fortunately for us, being 26 levels higher than it, it one-shots. Last but not least, we got the Nidoking, who is not as defensive as Nidoqueen, so I know if the Iron Tail were to take out the Nidoqueen, it would for sure take out the Nidoking. GG's all around. Now we go to one of our last rival fights, and well, Chillin's actually surprised we made it this far. He knew we were doing this challenge, and well, let's face it, he figured we wouldn't make it past Blaine. But we had already got all the battles, and so now he wants to flex on us and warm up. Get ready for some minor annoyances yet again. So Chillin, of course, starts off with Pidgeot, no big deal, but now we have a new threat. The Gyarados. Not only does it lower our attack, but it has a move that could probably one-shot us if it lands. Kind of like how the Fire Blast did. And well, fortunately for us with this set, he didn't land it on that run, but we missed, and on this turn he does. And as you can see, that's a lot of damage. But the Rock Tomb, of course, is going to take Gyarados out. The flying type is not very good for him. Unfortunately, it's the Mons that follow that are a pain in the butt. Like our good old friend Exeggcute, who we actually managed to hit the Aerial Ace on. And once again, we don't kill it. And of course, Stun Spore lands. You'll see me get a little bit irritated here as I start using a little bit of speed up, because it's starting to trigger me. As, well, we get paralyzed. Yeah. Solar Beam actually didn't kill at that range for some surprise, but more paralysis. So we go back into it again after a little bit of grinding. Hopefully we can do a little bit better this time. The Rock Tomb, of course, misses. RNG bad in our favor there, but it uses a Leer, which I'm kind of thankful for. I mean, it wasn't a Hydro Pump. And good for us, the Rock Tomb lands this time. Still not enough to take it out, but maybe we'll get lucky again. And we did. Another Leer. I'm kind of confused about why it's using Leer and not Hydro Pump, but you know what? I'll take it. It means Gyarados is down. So next up, guys, we have our one good buddy about to pop right on in. Probably the #1 enemy of this lock, who, not Charizard, Exeggcute. Fortunately for us, Aerial Ace does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill, and in comes the Stun Spore yet again. The salt, my friends, is real. Fortunately for us, though, we do not get paralyzed, and Aerial Ace does take out the Execute. And I realize now I'm saying fortunately a lot, and unfortunately. Huh, merch available? Question mark? Just kidding, guys. Alright, so we're at full health. The Charizard does use a flamethrower, but we are actually a considerable amount levels ahead. With that in mind, it doesn't kill, and the Rock Tomb is enough to, well, one-shot the Charizard, being 4 times weak to our Stab Rock Tomb. So after that, we go all the way to the Elite Four, and by Elite Four, I mean hell. We're level 76 at the time, and, well, our strats that we were using throughout the game just aren't quite going to cut it up. You know, Iron Tail does great wonders. It sets up the hail for the chip damage. Of course, though, it's going to heal. Rock Tomb, again, super effective. Does a lot of damage. So we take down the Dugong, but that's just the first of many problems. As we have Cloyster, who likes to stall out our team with Protects. And he sets up spikes. Of course, that doesn't affect us at all. It's kind of like free turns. But this is where I start thinking about adopting a strat that Chillin had used. So with Lapras on the field, Rock Tomb, it's super effective. However, it doesn't kill, and the Surf straight demolishes us. So this is where I pick up actually using the strat that Chillin used. We're going to learn Double Team, specifically for the Elite Four only. And I wanted to keep Rock Tomb because it just worked out for most of the Mons, and Aerial Ace never missed, Earthquake straight power, so we get rid of Iron Tail. I'm wondering if we're making a mistake, but I yeet back over to Dark Cave, learn Rock Slide over Rock Tomb because, well, we're going to just try something here, guys. And so into Lorelei we go. So right from the get-go with this, I decide to Rock Slide the Dugong. I already know what Mon's going to come out next, so with this one shot, thankfully, I have a good idea. So we set up an Aerial Ace because I don't know exactly what routine is going through, but it sets up the hail, and so I know like a Protect or Spikes are coming next, so we get to max out double teams. Now we just go straight for an EQ on Slowbro, as it should be neutral, and it does about half damage. Surf misses, which is gratefully. Unfortunately, I think on this Earthquake here, we get a low roll because it didn't kill. And of course, their Surf decides to land, which, bad news for us, my friends. Very bad news for us. But we get a crit on that Earthquake, so we're golden. In comes Bruno. And let me tell you, Bruno straight triggered me. I'm thinking here that the Aerial Ace is going to do wonders. Nah, fam. Lives on one and then counters. The pain I feel at this moment. I was yelling. So we go straight back into it. I think we can do it this time. We're going to set up on Bruno with some double teams. Hopefully the Onix misses Earthquakes. At least that's the game plan I was going for. It didn't even go for an Earthquake though on that one, so that was a good roll. Aerial Ace this time, fortunately for us, one shots. Thankfully, I should say. The Hitmonlee and the other Onix weren't a problem. As you can see here, Aerial Ace just straight takes out this Hitmonlee. Now, what I was concerned about the most this last Mon, because I've struggled actually against one fighting type this entire game, and that's against Machamp, and we're encountering a second one. Aerial Ace does not one-shot. The Crotch Chop would have. Fortunately for us, he missed, and even more so that Machamp was holding a Citrus Berry to gain health back. So the Full Restore doesn't come into play, and the Aerial Ace does indeed do its work. Next we have Agatha, who, oddly enough, posed no challenge. I mean, there was one part in it where things got a little hairy. You'll see here the hypnosis does come into play in land, and then the nightmare set. Like, I was actually somewhat concerned because you never know on the RNG on how it's going to work out. Sometimes it's one turn, sometimes it's 5 turns on sleeping. Fortunately for us, we did wake up and we got to deal with all of the full restored nonsense, but no big deal. Next we have Lance, and well, Lance actually I felt was going to be more of a problem than what he actually was. The Gyarados, admittedly, huge threat, probably one of the only threats actually, because I thought maybe some of his other mons knew Blizzard and the like, which could have done some damage, but they never really used them. So we just take out Gyarados, and then Rock Slide does its work on Dragonite. Now we are battling Chillin for the championship. Let me tell you, the last fight we went through with him was only a lead up to annoyance. Because of course, he has this Pidgeot that's going to outspeed. If it landed a Feather Dance at all, we were guaranteed to lose. If it landed any sand attacks, we were guaranteed to lose. It just seemed that way. But we were able to set up enough, take out the Gyarados, and fortunately for us, this time, our nemesis of the lock didn't use Stun Spore but Sleep Powder, which we were able to wake up and take him out. The Charizard, now not having Flamethrower but Fire Blast, misses, which is good for us because Flamethrower would have killed. And the Rock Slide is more than enough to take out Charizard. Next up, we do have his Alakazam, which I'd actually fought a few times, and it was always down to this moment right here where I'm in the red, they would be close, and the Future Sight would come in and knock us out. Because, well, let's face it, Chillin is no problem with those full restores. But we get the crit Earthquake to take out the Alakazam, and down goes Chillin. There is a new champion, Papa, sitting in the Hall of Fame with Trippy by his side. Let me tell you, fam, it's been fun. But thank you guys 100% for coming out, my dudes. I really do appreciate all that. And I hope you enjoyed our little trip, well, down memory lane here as we reminisce of us sitting upon our throne. We'll see you guys next time in later videos. Peace.